Welcome to Unit 9, Level 1 video notes. We're going to review fractions and recognize equivalent fractions, fractions and lowest terms, and we're also going to add and subtract fractions and lowest terms. Let's shade the bubbles to represent this fraction, 15 out of 18. And there are 18 dots here because there's 3 dots by 6 dots, and 3 times 6 is 18. I'm going to cross out 15 of these out of 18. So there's 6, 9, 12. There's my 15 out of 18 circles shaded in. All of these rows have 5 out of 6 shaded in, and that is an equivalent fraction. I have the 5 out of 6 times 3. Well, that triples the amount shaded, and that triples my total. So 15 out of 18 has a decimal of 0.83 repeating, and 5 divided by 6 also has a decimal of 0.83 repeating. And just how we multiplied the top and bottom by 3, we could also find a common factor and divide the top and bottom by that same common factor, and there's my 5, 6 again. Now let's take this mixed number and write it as an improper fraction. Well, let's find out how many pieces this truly has. Well, we have 2 wholes, so there's my 2 wholes, and then I have 3 out of 5 pieces shaded. And that out of 5 is the key piece to this information because I've got 2 wholes at 5 pieces for each hole. So that's 5 plus 5 plus 3 more pieces that part 3 out of 5 left over. So 5 plus 5 plus 3 is 13 out of 5 pieces. Now, how that works is back in middle school, you did 2 times 5 because you have 2 wholes times 5 apiece. And then you added the top, the numerator, and whatever you got, that always stayed over that denominator. So 2 times 5 is 10, plus 3 is 13 over the denominator. Now to write 15 out of 4 as a mixed number, well, 4 is what a whole is. So I have 15 of these I need to shade in. So there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I have 1, 2, 3 holes and 3 out of 4 pieces on that last hole. You can do that without a picture by taking the numerator and dividing by the denominator. So 4 goes into 15, we have 3 holes, and then you multiply those, subtract, and you're left with 3 as your remainder, and that's 3 out of 4. So if you're given a mixed number and you need an improper, then multiply and add the numerator. If you're given an improper fraction and to write it as a mixed number, we divide and subtract. Notice these are inverse operations, multiplying, adding, dividing, and subtracting. So it's kind of undoing each other. For our first example, we're going to find the sum. So this is representing a number, and this is representing a number. Each of those circles have 3 sections, so 3 sections make a whole. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 out of 3 sections to make a whole is represented here. We also could have looked at it as 1 whole plus 1 whole plus 1 whole is 3 wholes, and then I have 1, 2 out of 3 pieces more. Either answer would work, but this 3 2/3, you need to put a plus into Mobius so that you're saying 3 whole plus 2/3 more. So 3 2/3 that way. Now this first number here is 2 wholes and 1/3 more. So 2 1/3 plus this 1 whole and 1/3 more. Since they have a common denominator, we can add the whole numbers, which is 2 plus 1, giving us that 3. And then 1/3 plus 1/3 is 2 out of 3 pieces. I can also add these by making them improper. So 2 times 3 is 6. That's these 6 right here, plus the 1 more. So that's 7 out of 3 pieces to make a whole. Plus 1 whole times 3. So that's 3 pieces plus 1 more. And you add the numerator. 7 plus 4 is 11. And you keep the denominator the same out of 3. So the sum of the first example is 11 out of 3 as an improper fraction, or 3 2/3, which needs to be entered with a plus sign, as a mixed number. This next example is saying 3 out of 4 pieces plus 3 out of 5 pieces. What is the sum of those? Well, we can't add these together because they don't have a common denominator. These 3 are definitely different than those 3. So you can't add them and say 6 out of 9 because that's not 9 equal sections for every whole. So in order to add these, we need a common denominator. So we need to figure out the least common multiple of 4 and 5. 4 and 5 can both become 20. So 20 is our least common multiple. And I can get 4 to become 20 if I times by 5 to the top and bottom. So if I cut that 4 into 5 equal sections apiece, I have to do that with the 3 as well. So 5 times 3 is 15. And what I'm doing is I'm taking those 3 sections. There's 5, 10, 15 is shaded out of 20. So now my denominator 5 becomes 20 by multiplying by 4. So every section here, instead of 1, I'm going to have 4. So there's 4 pieces, another 4 pieces, and another 4 pieces. That's 4 times 3, which is 12. And really, we got to cut those one section into 4 as well. And so there's my 20. Now that every whole is cut into the same amount of sections, how many sections plus how many sections out of 20? Well, 15 plus 12 is 27, and we have 20 sections for every whole. That is our improper fraction. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces to make a whole. So I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces away from this one. There's my one whole. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more pieces. This is really one whole and 7 out of 20 more pieces shaded. Now, Mobius will accept either answer, but you definitely need to put that plus sign for your mixed numbers. Our last example, we're finding the difference of each, so we're going to subtract these. And we're going to write our answer as a reduced fraction or a reduced improper fraction. All right, this first diagram is representing 3 out of 4, and we're subtracting 2 out of 3. We cannot subtract these and say 1/12 or 1/1. We have to get a common denominator first. So we need an equal amount of sections for each circle. So 4 and 3, 4 can be multiplied by 3 sections apiece. So every section is going to become 3. And that makes it 9 out of 12. And for every section here, I'm going to cut it into 4 more. So there's 4, 8, 12. So I get that common denominator of 12, and whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. So 3 times 4 here is 12, and on top I have 2 times 4, which is 8. So this ends up being 9 subtract 8, which is 1, out of my common denominator, 12. Now I'm going to use my picture to make sure it makes sense. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sections there that I'm going to take away from this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I take away those, I'm left with this one piece, not out of 4 anymore, but out of 12 equal sections. I hope this helps gain a better understanding of what fractions are and why we need a common denominator. Good luck on your level 1 assignment.